you're going to have to remember a lot, and you need to be able to see an expression and say, oh yeah, this is difference of 2 squared, this is simple factorization, this is, you know, difference of 2 cubes, and everything.
So,
Mm-hmm.
do you have to know the names?
You don't need to learn the actual name, but you need to remember how they work.
Okay.
And if you remember the name, well, even better. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to finish copying, and then we're going to start. And this weekend, I'm going to be uploading all these videos. So if you need to revise, or if, yeah, you need to look at them. No, just go to YouTube, and then yeah, you're going to find my video there. And if it's called Numbers. That's my YouTube channel. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. So we're going to do this question first. Okay. So we need to see if we can simplify the top line, and then well, we don't need to simplify the bottom because it's already in simplest form. Okay. So if you look carefully, you can see that these look something like that we know already. Okay, what is that equal to? A squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Is that, can you see that this is something that we know, but in different order? It's perfect square. Okay, so it's not the difference of 2 squares. Okay, it doesn't look like a plus b multiplied by a minus b. Okay, so this is a perfect square. And we know that this is the same as I plus b squared. Okay, if you expand this, you should know by now that this is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, which is the same as this. Can you see that? Okay, and then we divide that by a plus b, and then we can take a plus b from the denominator and 1 from the numerator, so that means that the answer is simply a plus b. Okay, so that was okay. Okay, so you need to identify, that's what I say, you need to identify what you have in front of you. Sometimes we have, you know, simple factorization. So for example, in question 2, we have 3x squared y minus 6xy. And then we got 2x squared y minus 4xy squared. Okay, so in the top line, we don't have any special formula for that one. Apparently, we don't have any special, you know, formula or identity or anything like that. Okay, so that means that we're going to have to just take common factor. Okay, normal factorization. Okay, so what is the common factor between these two? 3xy. Okay, so it's 3xy. And then in bracket, we're going to have, so it's going to be x, and then minus 2. That's it. Okay, that's all you can do on top. Now we're going to do the bottom line. Okay, the bottom, what is the highest common factor between these two terms? 2xy. 2xy outside of x minus 2y. Yeah, like that. Okay, and then we can cancel this, xy and xy. And that's it. There's nothing else we can do. So that means that the answer is going to be 3x minus 2, and then 2x minus 2y. Okay, there's nothing else we can do. Okay, question 3. Okay, in question 3 we have 2x squared minus 7x minus 15 all over x squared minus 25. Okay, so if you look carefully, you can see that the top line is a trinomial, and the bottom one is the difference of two squares. Can you see that? Okay. So do you remember how you factorize a trinomial? If you don't remember, then you are in trouble because you need to revise regularly, and by now you should know very well what to do. Okay, so we need to find two numbers. Okay, for the top line, we need to find two numbers. We need to find two numbers that when you times them together equal to negative 30. But when you plus them together, the answer have to be negative 7. Okay, so I want you to please find negative 10 and positive 3. Okay, so it's negative 10 and positive 3. Excellent. Okay, so that means that we're going to break up the middle term, negative 7x, into these two numbers. All right, so we're going to rewrite this as 2x squared minus 10x plus 3x minus 15. And then we know that the bottom line, is the difference of two squares. Okay, so we're going to do x plus 5, x minus 5. And then we're going to group. Okay, we're going to group the term from the top. So we're going to group these two and these two. Okay, so what is the common factor from the first couple? 2x. So it's going to be 2x outside of x minus 5. All right. And then a common factor from the second couple is 3. And then it's going to be x minus 5 again. And then all over x plus 5, x minus 5. Okay, and then we have a common factor on top, which is x plus 5. Okay, so you can go to the next line, so you can say x minus 5, and then 2x plus 3. All over to x plus 5 and x minus 5. Okay, do we have any common factor overall? Yes, okay, can you see that in here we got x minus 5, and in here we have x minus 5, so we can get rid of them. So I mean that the final answer is 2x plus 3 over x plus 5. That's it. Okay, when you simplify, most likely that you're going to have factors that you can get rid of. Okay, so when you simplify fraction, it is highly likely that you're going to have factors in common, something that you at the end can eliminate. All right. Are you okay with this? All right, so you see you have to put a lot of things together. You have to remember, and your algebra have to be, at this level. Okay, algebra in advanced, and extension 1, of course, is fundamental. Okay, so you need to know your algebra very, very well. Otherwise, you're going to have problem. Okay, question 4. In question 4, we have something that looks very ugly. But in reality, you're going to see that the simplification is simple. But you need to remember, some stuff. Okay, if you look carefully, the top line, what is it? Difference of two squares. Can you see that the top line you have something square minus something not square? Okay, that's it. Okay, and when you have difference of two squares, then you do the first term So you do the first term, which is a plus b, plus the second term, so we're going to say c. And then you do exactly the same, so you do a plus b, but then you take away c. Okay, are you okay? Going from here to here? Yep. Okay, so going from here to here is not too bad. And then, do we have any common factor from the bottom? 3. Okay, so we're going to say 3 is the common factor of a plus b minus c. And now is good because we have a common factor, which is a plus b minus c. Okay, so then we can get rid of that and get rid of that. So I mean that the answer is going to be a plus b plus c divided by 3. That's it. All right. Question 5. Can I wrap this up? Okay. Question 5. Right. Okay, so the top line, before you do anything, see if you have any common factor. Do we have any common factor? Yes. The answer is yes. What is it? 3. 3. So it's 3 outside of?
X cubed plus 8.
Yes.
Which is the same as 2.
Yes. Okay, and then what is the common factor from the bottom? So it's 3 outside of?
4 minus 1x squared.
So it's going to be x squared, like that. Okay. Now, if you have been revising, you can see that the top, this factor is equal to x cubed plus 2 cubed. Okay, and we know that that is the sum of 2 cubes. So that means that in the top line we can write 3, and then we got to remember the formula. So for this one, so we have x plus 2, and then bracket x squared plus 2x plus 4.
Yeah, shouldn't it be minus?
Yeah, yeah, that one should be minus. Yep. Okay, and then at the bottom we have, this is going to be 2 minus x. This is the difference of 2 squared. Okay, so this is the same as saying 2 squared minus x squared. So we're going to have 2 minus x, and then 2 plus x, like that. Now, can we factorize this big bracket? Can we find two numbers that when you times them together equal 4, but when you add them together equal negative 2? Sorry? Negative? No, it doesn't work.
No, you can't.
All right, so I mean that we say that this is a irreducible. Okay, so we cannot reduce this anymore. Okay, however, we can get rid of this and get rid of that, all right? Because x plus 2 obviously the same as 2 plus x. Okay, so I mean that at the end, and also we can simplify 3 and 3, yeah. Okay, so the final answer is x squared minus 2x plus 4. Okay, and then over 2 minus x, like that. All right? Okay, and the last question, question 6. Is anyone still copying this? Peter, you okay? All right. Okay, question 6. Okay, so we cannot simplify the numerator anymore, okay, but we can simplify the denominator. Okay, so we're going to say AB, AK, Sarah. What is the common factor from the bottom line? AB. AB. And then what is left? AB minus 1. Okay, and then you can see that we have this and this, so we can cancel that one and cancel that one. Okay, but you got to remember that still we have 1 in front of the AB. Okay, it's no way that you're going to say, okay, that is equal to 0 over AB minus 1.
1 over AB.
Yes. Okay, so it's 1 over AB minus 1. Okay, now can you please write down your homework? Okay, so from the Jones and Coachman, you're going to do exercise 3.9. Okay, write it down, 3.9. And you're going to do every second question, excluding the one that we have done already. Okay, so from 3.9, exercise 3.9, from the Jones and Coachman. Sorry? You're going to do the odds. Okay, the odds. Yeah, so it's from 1 to 30, but you're going to exclude the one that we've done already, okay? So you're going to skip them. All right, so that's it. That's all what you need to know when simplifying fraction. Now we're going to do multiplication and division. Okay, and the whole thing gets a little bit messy, so we need to be careful. All right, the heading is multiplying and dividing algebraic fraction. That's the heading. Multiplying and dividing algebraic fractions. Example.
That's only for addition and subtraction.
Okay, make sure that you keep it down.
Are you giving us an exercise?
Yep.
So do we have to do these or can we just do the exercise? Are these coming out of the exercise?
Yeah, these are coming out of exercise 3.10. Okay, so we're going to do this question first, and then there are many more. Okay, so I would say that this question somewhere a little bit lower than the middle in degree of difficulty. Okay, and then, well, it gets a little bit more complicated. Okay, but they're all equally doable. Okay, so all you have to do is just relax and think about it. Okay, question 1. Question 1 is one of the easiest ones. Okay, so we know that we can do this in many different ways, but the way that I always do is just we multiply right across. Okay, so you do 4 times 21. So what's the answer? 4 times 21?
84.
What do you say? 84. So it's going to be 84a. And then 7 times 5 is 35, so it's going to be 35a. And you can see that we can simplify the a. Okay, so we can cancel these two out. And then you simplify. In your calculator, you do a over 35. So you use the ABC key. 12 over 5. That's it. That's all we have to do. Okay, that was, something that we did probably in year 8. Okay. Okay. Question 2. Question 2, we're going to do the same. So we're going to multiply right across. So that will give you 3 times a is 24. A cubed b. And then we multiply 4 times 12, which is 48. AB. And then we are ready to simplify. Okay, so if we simplify 24 over 48, that will give you a half. Okay, so you're going to put 1 on top and 2 at the bottom. And then how many a are on top?
3.
And how many at the bottom?
1.
After simplifying or elimination is how many left?
2 on top.
Yeah, that's it. So it's a square. And then you can see that they cancel each other. So we don't need to worry about the b. So that means that the answer is going to be 1a squared on 2, or you can say simply a squared on 2. Or if you want, so you say half of a squared. Okay, so you can do it like this, like this, like this. That means exactly the same thing. Okay? Okay, question 3. Question 3, same thing. We're going to multiply across. So we're going to have 10x minus 15 over 6 times 8, so it's 48x. And then 6 times 12, so it's going to be 72 minus 72. And then we are ready to take common factor. Okay, Chelsea, so what is the common factor between these two?
5.
Okay, so and what is left?
2x minus 3.
And what is the common factor from these two? 12. Okay, so 12 goes into 48 how many times?
4 times.
So it's 12, and then it's,
4x.
sorry?
It's 4x.
Yeah, so this is 4x. And then minus?
6.
Minus 6. Okay, can you see that we can again take up common factor from here? All right. So if you take the common factor, so it's going to be.
24.
So it's going to be. All right. I think that in here we have a higher common factor.
Yeah, 24.
So it's 24. Okay, so we're going to take 24. So it's 24, and then that is going to be 2x minus 3. Yes. Okay. And then we can simplify 2x minus 3 from top and bottom. So that means that the answer is going to be 5 over 24. Okay. The next one is a division. Yes.
If we want to, because like you've been timesing first and then simplifying, if we want to simplify it first and then timesing, can we do that?
Yes, it's the same. Okay, some people will simplify first. Because some people will simplify first and then multiply. It doesn't matter how you do it. Okay? I do it this way because most of the people do the same. Okay, it's more common for people to multiply. Okay, question 4. In question 4, we have a division. Okay, and we know that when we divide fraction, what do we do?
Swap last one.
Yes. Okay, so we need to swap this fraction, the second one, and change division by multiplication. So this is the same as 6 over x cubed plus, I'm going to put this as 5 cubed. Okay, because we know that 125 is the same as 5 cubed. But then we can tell that in here we have the sum of 2 cubed. Again, then we multiply that by the reciprocal of this. So it's x plus 5 on 3. Okay, and then we're going to multiply. So we're going to have 6x plus 5. And then this is going to be 3. Okay, but then in here we had the sum of 2 cubes. Okay, that's why you need to visualize and you need to remember things. Okay, so this is the sum of 2 cubes, and we know that that is going to be equal to x plus 5. Can you see that we already have a common factor? And then, what else? Ethan, you tell me.
Then we've got x squared minus 5x plus 25.
Yes. Okay, and then we can simplify this, and also we can do 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So that means that the answer is going to be 2 over x squared minus 5x plus 25. Okay, that's it. And it looks like we cannot factorize this anymore. Okay, because there's no way that you're going to find two numbers that when you times them together equal 25, and when you add them together equal 85. That's it. So we stop there. Okay, question 5. Again, so you can see that we are putting a lot of things together. Okay, so you need to remember. You have to make the effort to remember. So if you go home and you do nothing, then yeah, you are going to have problem. Okay, that's why I am uploading these videos so that you can watch them, and then you can remember what we did that particular day. Okay, so here we have x squared minus, this is what?
11.
Difference of 2 squares, so yeah, is 11 squared. What about the bottom?
X squared minus 3 squared.
Yeah, so another difference of 2 squares, so x plus 2, x minus 2. And then we're going to multiply that by the reciprocal of this fraction, so is x plus 2, and then x plus 11. And then I'm going to do one more line, because in here we have, can you see that this is x plus 11, x minus 11? All right? And to save space, I'm going to do it in here, okay, because you know that what we are talking about. So this is x plus 11 and x minus 11, like that. And then you can see, whenever you're doing this question, okay, whenever you're doing this question, at the end you're going to have common factors. And then we can simplify. So this will go with that one, and this will go with that one. So that means that the final answer is going to be x plus 11 over x minus 2. All right? Yeah?
Will be x minus 11 on top.
Yes,
Okay, so this is,
Cross that one.
yeah. So this is x minus 11. I did that. One. All right, that's the one that got. All right, so we got x minus 11 over x minus 2. Okay, so that means that after manipulating this expression that looks very, very complicated, at the end the answer is simply x minus 11 over x minus 2. All right? Okay, Chelsea? Yes. Okay. In here we have another division. Okay? So we are going to do the factorization as we go. Okay, so what is the factorization of this?
Y.
So it's going to be y outside of y minus 1, all right? Okay. What about the bottom one?
3y.
So it's going to be
Squared.
3y squared outside of,
Y minus 1.
so it's going to be y
Minus 1.
plus 1. And then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of this. But in here you can see that we have the difference of two squares. Okay, so we're going to have y minus 1, y plus 1, and on top we have 6y. All right, so it's all factored. Now we're going to simplify. Okay, have a look. In here we have y, and in here we have another y that will make up y squared, right? Okay, so that means that we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, and we can get rid of all that. All right? Okay, and then we have y minus 1, and then we have y minus 1. And then we have 6 and 3. So that is 2. So I mean that the answer is going to be 2 over, in here we're going to have y plus 1 square. So it's going to be y plus 1.
Haven't you still got a y at the bottom? Because that was y squared.
Yeah, but can you see in here we got one y, and in here we got another one. So that make up, the y square.
There you go.
Yeah. But thank you anyway. That was a good observation. Yes.
I'm just a little bit confused. So you're crossing out the y minus 1 and y minus 1 when you're diagonal.
Yeah.
And then when you're side by side, you're crossing out the y. I don't understand.
Oh wait.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
There's just an extra step that is missed. Say he crosses out the y minus 1, y minus 1. Then it becomes 6y squared
Yeah.
on top of 3y squared, y plus
Yep.
1 squared.
Yeah, okay. I
And
see
so
it.
that's when you can get
Yep.
rid of the y squared.
Yeah.
Just because he skipped this step.
Yeah. Okay. So if I multiply this fraction across, then you have the y square.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. Okay. So this is how you do this question. Okay. And it gets a little bit more complicated. Okay. So I'm going to do 2 more, and then we're going to move on to the addition. Okay. Addition and subtraction, and that is going to be the second last page. Actually, the last page. And then we need to start doing equation. Okay. So we need to do a lot more, and we are falling a little bit behind. So that's why you're going to have to.
Do the y plus 1 squared.
Sorry?
Because the y plus 1 squared,
That one?
isn't that like y plus 1y plus 1? Isn't it a plus 2a, b plus 2?
This one? Okay, so you got to be careful. This is no y squared plus 1 squared, right? So you got to be careful. We're going to say here, y plus 1 squared is not equal to y squared plus 1 squared, and obviously it's not equal to y squared minus y 1 squared, right? So you got to remember that
I'm
this,
not saying that. I'm
She's
saying
just
the other
saying
one.
like
The a
You
squared
expand it.
plus 2a, or minus 2a plus 2ab plus b squared.
all right, okay. Okay, I know what you're saying. So if you finish with this, I think it's better if you leave it like that, because that would be, the simplest form. What she's saying is that we can do this. If you want, you can actually expand this. So that will be y squared plus 2y plus 1. All right? Okay, so can you see that this is the same as this?
One with that one.
That one. Okay? That one, because it's all about factorizing.
yeah, but if you did write the second one, that's still technically right.
Yeah, of course. You get the full mark. Even if you stop here and the question doesn't say express the answer in simplest form, you should get the full mark. Okay, but you can see that this is equal to that. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see how you're going to do this one. So this is question 7. Question 7. Okay, question 7 is this one. Is x squared minus x. Can you please copy this? Okay, so I want you to copy those questions. Right. So this is like doing, checklist. So you're going to say, okay, this is a quadratic. The other one looks like cubic. The next one is simple. The next one is simple factorizations. Okay, so it's like a checklist. Okay. And as a good mathematician, you need to just relax. Okay, make sure that you look at the board and pay attention. Okay, question 7. In question 7, first thing that you have to do is to see whether you can factorize. Okay, so we have two fractions, and we need to look at the numerator of the first fraction. And we need to identify what sort of expression is that. Okay, so if you look carefully, this is x squared minus x minus 6 is a trinomial, okay? Are you happy with that? Yeah. Okay, trinomial. So that means that we need to find two numbers that when you times them together equal -6, but when you plus them together equal -1. What are those numbers? -3 and +2. Okay. So x minus 3 and x plus 2. Okay, so that is the factorization of the numerator for the first fraction, and then we're going to divide that by. All right, and then can you see that when you take the common factor from here, the common factor is going to be 2, x cubed plus 8. Mm-hmm. Okay, but we know that 8 is the same as 2 cubed. Okay, so you're going to do 2 and then x cubed plus 2 cubed. Okay, are you okay with that? Yes. Okay, and then we are multiplying that by 2x. There's nothing we can do with this. Can we take the common factor from that one? Megan? Can we take the common factor from this denominator? So it's going to be x outside of x, take away 3. All right. Okay, so you can see we can already eliminate this factor with that one. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Can you see that we can also eliminate this x with that x? Yes. Can you see that? And also, can you see that we can get rid of this 2 with that 2 in there? And
then you can get rid of the x.
All right, and now we're going to be careful. Okay, so so we have x plus 2 on top, okay? And at the bottom we have the sum of 2 cubed, so we're going to write it down. Okay, so on top we have x plus 2 left. And then at the bottom we have the addition of 2 cubes. And we know that this is x plus 2, x squared plus minus 2x plus 4. All right. Got it? Yeah. Yep. I got it. Okay, and then can you see that we have this as a common factor, x plus 2? Okay, so we can get rid of this, get rid of that. So that means that the final answer is going to be 1 over x squared minus 2x plus 4. Okay, so it's 1 over that. That's it. And I remember you doing questions like this on the board. Remember?
What?
You used to do questions like this on the board last year.
Yeah, I just didn't know what it was.
All right. Okay, the next question. The next question, this is a multiplication. Okay, so this will change to multiplication. Okay, but let's go through each one of these fractions. Okay, so the numerator, look at the numerator from the first fraction. What is that? Trinomial. Can you see that? If we have a squared plus 5a plus 6, so it's so much a trinomial. Okay, so we need to find two numbers that when you times them together equal 6, but when you plus them together equal 5. 2 and 3. Okay, so we're going to do that. So we do a plus 2, a plus 3. Keep it down. Okay, what about the bottom? A squared minus 25. So that is a minus 5 and then a plus 5. All right, so difference of 2 squares. And then we're going to multiply that. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal of this fraction. So we multiply by a minus 5 over a plus 3. And then we can see clearly what we can simplify. All right, now can you see that we can get rid of this, and also we can get rid of that? Can you see that? Okay, can you see that we can also get rid of this and get rid of that? So that means that the answer at the end is equal to a plus 2 over a plus 5. That's it. Okay, so that means that at the end of the day, this very intimidating division is equal to this. That's it. Got that? Any question? Okay, so you can see that they are very easy factorization, very easy division and multiplication of fraction, but in here we are putting a lot of things together, so you need to be careful. Now, question 9 is one of the hard ones. Okay, so we're going to be very careful. Okay, so we're going to do question 9 very, very carefully. Okay, question 9. Question 9. Okay, so you need to look at this way. Okay, question 9. In question 9, can you see that the first part is the difference of 2 squared? Can you see that? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to factorize that as a plus b and then a minus b. But still next to it we have a minus b. I'm going to put that in bracket, a minus b. Okay, so the bottom one is another trinomial. Is one of those that have, two variables. Okay, so we need to find two numbers that when you times them together equal positive 3, but when you add them together it's equal to negative 4. Negative 1 and negative 3. Okay? I'm talking about this one. Okay? All right. So I'm gonna do the calculation here, and then we're gonna write it down. So we need to find two numbers that when you times them together is equal to 3b squared. But when you plus them together, the answer have to be negative 4ab.
Is that not what you just did?
Yes. Okay. So and the answer is going to be, what do you say? So it's going to be negative 1b and negative 3b. Can you see that when you multiply this, the answer is 3b squared? All right. And in here it's going to be, same thing, negative b and then negative 3b. Because when you put this, yeah, so we put this extra thing. Okay. All right. Now it works. Now, in the next line. In the next line. Okay. And then what do you do? So you do a minus b, and then it's going to be a minus 3b. Okay, so that is the factorization for this.
Do you want us to cancel it out now?
Not yet. Okay, so I'm going to come back to here. I'm going to write it down. So we're going to say a minus b, and then a minus 3b. Okay, and then we have to multiply. I'm going to write this. How can I wrap it up? This part in here. Can I? Anyway, you can watch it in the video. So that's the good thing about recording. Okay. And then, what about the top line for this one? Okay, what is the highest common factor for this? A. So we take the common factor A. And then, what is left? A minus 3b. Okay, what about the bottom line? So it's a plus b plus 1. All right, now let's see what we can simplify so far. Okay, can you see that we can simplify this with that one? Okay, and that's it. We cannot simplify anymore until we do. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, let me show you something. Yep. All right. What is the common factor for this top line? A minus b. Can you see that the common factor from the numerator is a minus b? Okay, so I'm going to take that common factor. So it's a minus b. And then what is left? A plus b plus 1. Okay, so you got to remember that in here we got 1. Okay, and then
I'm not doing that.
If Casey doesn't understand it, then no one's going to. Casey doesn't understand.
Case doesn't understand what I'm trying. How did we get there?
I told you that this was one of the more challenging ones. Okay, but let's see how we went from here to here. Is that where you got lost? Okay, from here to here?
Yep.
Okay, now, can you see that the common factor between these two expressions is a minus b? Is that clear?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so a minus b. So we're going to take a minus b out. Okay, let's say that you're taking a minus b out, a minus b out. In here we got 1. Okay? Okay, so you have a minus b, and then what is left? So we got a plus b plus 1. All right? I know that is tricky. Okay, and then have a look. And then we can get rid of this, and then we can get rid of this, and then we can get rid of this with this. So what is the final answer? A. Okay, so that means that this expression after manipulation is equal to A. That's it. That's all what it is. Yeah. Now, I tell you this. People have the impression, listen to this. People have the impression that, mathematicians make things very, very complicated. But I would say that is the other way around. So you are giving this to some mathematician, and the mathematician will give you this as answer. So it will tell you, yeah, don't worry about that. You can use A all the time. What can be simpler? What can be simpler than that? You see?
So if I want to write A,
Yes.
but I want
Will you ever need
If you write A, just
to
write
use
it.
this in your everyday sort of life?
Well, if you are a math teacher, yes.
Yeah.
If you are an engineer, yes. If you are,
what kind of engineers use this for?
I'm just
So if you are building houses, bridges, if you're building, you know,
You need to know that.
because because if you want to calculate, well, let me answer the question. If you need to calculate, you know, how you're gonna build the bridge. Now listen to me. If you talk to any engineer, the engineer will tell you that they use formula every day. Okay, calculating, you know, the resistance of, you know, a building. Okay, so if they building a bridge, they need to know that it will be strong enough to support, you know, traffic. And yeah, probably to do a lot of calculation. In physics, there are a lot of, you know, algebra involved. So if you are a mathematician, that's it. You're going to be using this in everyday life. If you are an engineer, you're going to be using this, and so on. Sorry? Well, if you want to be, I don't know, if you want to be an interior designer, sometimes you have to deal with fractions. Yeah. That's why you choose. That's why you choose in life. All right. Okay, guys, please remember we are still recording, so we're going to continue with this. Okay, next. The next heading. So, by the way, I want you to do every second question. So you're going to do the odd question from 3.10. Okay, so you're going to do. You are going to do the odd question from 3.10, excluding the one that we have done already. That's it. Yes. Okay, next heading is addition.
That's why we have a day off tomorrow.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, please remember that we are still recording. Okay. Okay, addition. Okay, here we go. Addition.
Are you getting them? I do. As my kindergarten. Over my kindergarten,
Okay, so we're going to have to remember a little bit about what we did in year 7. So, okay, so we're going to have to remember how to do it. Now, okay, question 1. Question 1, we have to add two fractions with the same denominator.
I'll do extension 2. This is what they do.
Okay, so we have to do 2 over 5 plus 7 over 5, and we know that when you have the same denominator, then you plus the numerator and keep the denominator. Okay, so this is something that we all know. So it's going to be 9 on 5. That's it. Okay, next. Okay, now you're going to put your pen down and pay attention. What we normally do is simplify. Okay, we simplify fraction, we simplify expression, we simplify equation. We always simplify. But this time, This time what we're going to be doing, we're going to doing that we call amplify. So we are going to amplify this fraction, and we are going to amplify this fraction, so then we have the same denominator, and then we can put them together. Okay, to amplify, so now you need to pay attention. To amplify this fraction, we are going to amplify it. Okay, we're going to amplify this fraction by this denominator. Amplify means that we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by that number. Okay, so we're going to have 6 times 3, and then we're going to have 7 times 3. That's it. Plus. Now we're going to amplify. We're going to amplify this fraction. Pay attention carefully. Now we're going to amplify this fraction by 7. Okay, so we're going to have 2 times 7, and then okay. All right, and then can you see that we're going to have exactly the same denominator? Can you see that? Yeah. All right. Okay. So the denominator is equal to 21, and in here we're going to have 18 plus 14. And then when you plus them together, what is it? 32. Okay, so it's 32. 14. All right.
So you can simplify more.
Okay, and then that's how we're going to do, you know, the addition of algebraic fraction. Okay, now we're going to see how we're going to apply this to fraction. So you need to pay attention. Okay, now simplify. All right, let's simplify that fraction. All right, let's simplify this. All right, we cannot put these two fractions together because they have different denominator. All right, that is very, very clear. So that means that we're going to have to amplify. Sometimes we need to amplify both of them. Sometimes we need to amplify only one of them. In this case, we need to amplify only the first fraction. Okay, we're going to amplify this by 2. That is very clear. So we're going to multiply the top by 2. And then we are going to multiply the bottom by 2. So that will give you 6. Okay, and then that's it. And then we can put this together. So we're going to say 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And then 2 times -1 is -1. -2. And then we're going to be careful in here. So it's going to be -x, and then -2. And then all over the common denominator. Okay, so let's see what we did. So step number 1, we amplify this fraction by 2. So then we have the same denominator. So we multiply by 2. And then 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And then we copy this. And then what we did, we expand this bracket. So that will give you 6x. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times -1 is -2. But then, can you see that in here we have a minus in front of x plus 2? So if you have a minus in front of a expression, then you have to change the sign. So it's going to be -x, and then it's going to be -2. And then all over 6. Okay, and then we're going to simplify. So we're going to have 6x minus x. So that will give you 5x. And then -4, and then over 6. That's it.
Why did you make the positive 2 into a negative?
In front of that, then obviously that changes to
Yeah. All right. So that is the answer for this question. Now, it gets... Yes. All right, next. I want you to simplify this, please. So this is question 2. So this is 7 minus x on 3 minus 3 minus 4x on 8. Okay, can you please simplify that addition? Okay, in this case, we're going to have to amplify both fractions, okay? Okay, so what number are you multiplying the first fraction by? 8. Yes, and the second?
3.
That's it. Okay, can you please do that? Okay, so when you amplify, then you're going to have the same denominator, which is what we want. Okay? And then we're going to remove the bracket. Okay, but we're going to be careful because, again, we have a negative in here. Okay, so what's the answer for 8 times 7? So we're going to have 56, and then we're going to have minus 8x. Okay, but then we're going to be careful because here we're going to have negative 3 times 3, which is negative 9. And then we're going to have negative 3 times negative 4. What's the answer for negative 3 times negative 4? Positive, yes. It's going to be positive 12x. And then all over the common denominator, which is 24. Okay, and then we're going to simplify. Okay, Takisa, can you please tell me the answer for 12x minus 8x?
4x.
4x.
47.
And then 56 minus 9.
47.
So it's plus 47. And then over 24. That's it. Okay, question 3. Okay, let's say that you have this 3 over x minus 2 over x squared. Okay, let's say that you have that. Okay, so we are going to amplify a fraction by something. Okay, so which fraction is the one that we need to amplify? By what?
X.
That's correct. Okay, so we're going to multiply the top and the bottom of this fraction by x, so then we have the same denominator. Okay, so if you multiply this by x, it's going to be 3x. And then now we have x squared. And then we have 2x squared, so we have the same denominator. So we have the same denominator, and then we do 3x minus 2. That's it. That's all we do. Okay, so it gets a little bit complicated now, so get ready. All right, let's say that you have an addition like that. Okay, so let's say that we have this. Okay, so in here we're going to have to amplify the first and the second fraction. Okay, so we're going to have to amplify the first and the second fraction by the respective denominator. So if you are going to have the same denominator, what we're going to have to do, we're going to amplify this fraction by x plus y. Okay, so like this. So 1 times x plus y, so it's going to be x plus y. Okay, so this is the same as that. All what I did is just multiply the top and the bottom by that. But then if you are going to have the same denominator, then we need to amplify the second fraction by. So it's going to be 2x and then we're going to have x plus y. And then that's it. And then we have the same denominator, and we have plus, so it's even easier, so we can put them together. So we can say x plus 2x, so it's going to be 3x, and then plus y, and then all over x plus y. Yeah.
Do we expand the bottom?
No. Just leave it like that. Okay, so do not expand it. So you got to remember. Okay, so it's all about making the expression simpler. Don't expand anything. Just leave it like that.
I swear it's simpler if you just do x squared plus xy.
How can that be simpler than x in bracket x plus y?
I don't know, this looks done. That doesn't look done.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, so you gotta remember this. It's all about factorization. Okay, so the more you can factorize it at the end, the better. Yeah, you can write both. Okay. It gets harder. Okay, question 19 in here, but it's question 5 in here. Actually, question 20. So, right. Okay, so I want you to copy that one. Clearly, we don't have the same denominator, right? And also, it is clear that we're going to have to amplify these two fractions to, at the end, have the same denominator. Okay, so we are going to amplify the first fraction by 1 plus x, and then we are going to amplify the second one by 1 minus x. All right? Is that clear? Okay, so let's do it. So, x plus 1. I'm gonna multiply. Can you say that 1 plus x is the same as x plus 1? So I'm gonna put x plus 1. And then at the bottom, I'm gonna put 1 minus x, and then x plus 1. All what I did is just to amplify the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction. Okay, so that is the technique.
You don't write x plus 1 squared? No, because you cross multiply.
Yeah, later we can simplify this if you want, but just leave it like that for now. Okay, and then we're going to have to amplify the second fraction. So we're going to amplify this by 1 minus x. So we're going to say x minus 1 multiplied by 1 minus x. And then 1 minus x, x plus 1. Okay, in that way you have the same, exactly the same denominator. Okay. And then in here we have a perfect square. So this, the top line is x plus 1 square. And then in here you can do this in two different ways. Okay, but we're just going to leave it like that for now. So it's going to be x minus 1. 1 minus x, and then all over 1 minus x, x plus 1. I haven't done any special thing apart from amplifying the fraction and putting together. Okay, I haven't done any magic, any trick, anything like that. Okay, and then you don't need to worry about the denominator. The denominator always can be expressed like the multiplication of two factors. Do not expand it. That is my point. Do not expand it. Okay, but you need to expand the top line and simplify. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so what is the answer for this? Can anybody tell me?
X squared plus 1.
No.
Plus x.
What is?
2x.
So what is the answer for this perfect square?
X squared.
So it's going to be x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then for this one, we're going to have to use something that we call FOIL. Okay, so you're going to have to expand it. All right, so we do x times 1 is x, and then x times negative x is minus x squared, and then negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1, and finally negative 1 times negative x is positive x. And then all over whatever the common denominator is. I said again, you don't need to expand the denominator, just leave it like that. Again, then you simplify the top line. If you look carefully, you can see that the x squared cancel each other. Okay, you can see the 1 and negative 1. And finally, so we're going to have how many x's?
4x.
So we have 4 x's over the common denominator. All right, now I have to admit that this requires, a lot of algebra, but that's all what it is. Okay, it's algebra and multiplying things, so they are long. Okay, that's it. They're long.
No matter what way you do it, as long as you get to the answer.
Like in a text.
Because I just expanded, the second line. I just expanded the whole thing.
So you expand this,
And the first one.
and then you expand the one. Yeah. You can do it like that. You can simplify at the very start or at the end. It doesn't matter, as long as you do the proper simplification, then it's okay. Right. Okay. So this is not one of the hard ones. Okay. Let's say that you have something like. All right, let's say that you have this. So this is question 6.
And then I go San Antonio like.
Right. Okay. Okay, so this is one of the questions in which you need to factorize first. All right, so this is one of those questions. Pay attention to this one. This is one of these questions in which you need to factorize first. Because after factorization, you will know what you need to multiply the other one by. Okay, Sarah. Here we go. Do we need to simplify the top? No. Okay, so it's going to be 5c. Can we factorize the bottom?
Yeah.
What is that?
A bracket A plus B.
Very good. Okay, and then, all right. Okay, now put your pen down, please. Pen down. Stop what you are doing and look at the board. Okay, so if you intend to do this question without factorization first, it's really hard to know what number you have to amplify by. Okay, but in here you can see that we're going to have to amplify which one of these fractions? That one by? A. That's correct. Can you see that if you amplify this by A, then we're going to have the same denominator? Okay, that is exactly what we're going to do. All right, so when you multiply, this one stays the same, so A plus B. But when you multiply this by A, then in here you're going to have AC. And the bottom now is A plus B. Right. Do we have the same denominator? Yes. So that means that we can put them together. Right. So we're going to have 5c minus AC all over A plus B. Now, if you really want to impress your teacher, okay, so you should simplify the top line in here because we have a common factor. Can you see that? Okay, so take the common factor out. So it's going to be, what is it? C minus A. Then over A plus B. Okay, this is what we want. Ideally, this should be the answer. What was? Okay. Yeah. Same thing.
So you've had a big day, you've got these things before,
Yeah,
right?
it's been a long double. Let's pack up now.
That's because
No.
he's had like triple math with us.
Okay, one more question and then pack up. All right. Deal. All right. Okay. Okay, this question.
No, you can't do essential models without doing advanced. And you can't do extension 2 without doing essential models.
Right, okay. Go for it. So I want you to simplify. I want you to factorize as much as possible. And then you're going to be doing the amplifying things. Okay. So step number 1, you are going to factorize that as much as possible. And then you will see what you need to amplify by. Okay, so it's nothing we can do with the top line. Okay, so we're going to just put 2x squared. But then you can see that the bottom, the denominator from the first fraction is the difference of 2 squares. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what should I do in here then?
Bracket,
Mm-hmm.
x minus y, bracket, bracket, x plus y.
Close bracket. Yeah? Okay, and then can we take common factor from here?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
X. Then you get x plus y.
Yeah, what the hell? Someone stand up and look, because I'm curious. Just stand still.
Okay,
They're playing something.
okay. All right. Okay, can anybody tell me what we need to do? Shh. Yes.
Do we need to multiply the second fraction by negative y?
Wait. No, but it's okay. Okay, so he's thinking. Yes, he's trying.
No, I'm just saying.
The second fraction by x minus 2 and the first fraction by x.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna multiply this by x, and then we're gonna multiply this x minus y. All right. So our goal is to have exactly the same denominator. Okay, so you're gonna multiply the first fraction by x because that is what's missing from here, and then you're gonna multiply this by x minus y. All right, can you please do that? Okay, so we are going to multiply the first fraction by x, the top and the bottom. Okay, so when you multiply the top and the bottom, by x, can you see that this is going to be 2x cubed?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to put 2x cubed. And the bottom is going to be x minus y, and then x plus y. Okay, done. And then we have to multiply this by what is missing from here? X minus y. Okay, so we're going to multiply 2x squared, x minus y. And then we're going to have the same denominator, x minus y, x plus y. Okay, now we have the same denominator, so then we can put them together. Okay, now we put them together, so it's going to be 2x cubed, and then minus,
2x cubed.
so it's going to be 2x cubed, that's correct, 2x cubed, but then negative and negative, so it's going to be plus 2x squared y. And then
Why is it 2x squared?
Because the times.
Oh,
2
yeah,
squared y.
sorry.
Okay, and then the common denominator. And again, do not expand the denominator, because if you expand this, then it's going to be horrible. Okay, and then can we simplify the top line?
Yes.
All right, so we get rid of this. So, and then we're going to have 2x squared y. We can get rid of 1x, so I'm going to write it down first, x squared. Okay, now
Need of y.
You need the y.
I need
get
the
rid
y.
of the square.
Wait, then
Get
can
rid
you
of the
make
square.
and then
Get rid of the square number.
we get rid of that and get rid of that.
can you make the x minus 1 squared turn
I
back
thought you
to
couldn't make
simplify
Yeah.
and factorize it better?
You just plain.
So then it'll be 2xy over
2xy.
x minus y squared.
No, it's x squared minus y squared, because this is the difference of 2 squared. But I say to you, please do not expand the denominator. Just leave it like that. X minus y. Just leave it like that. Okay. So that was a long session, but totally necessary.